I've got a couple strategies for you I want to share on the Carmela Montez legendary bounty. Now, these are all 5-star bounties. I'm doing them all solo. Basically, there are 3 variations at the start of this mission, and you can figure out which one you're at by looking in front of the barn. You see there were 2 glow things. One of them was the wagon, one of them was Carmela. Here we have just the wagon, which means she's in the house. And then finally, the third variation, there's no wagon. And in that variation, the wagon will be coming in from the west. You can see it out there. It's stopped. Eventually, it will start moving. And when it does, we want to be positioned to take out the drivers of the wagon. And when you do that, there is a blind spot in the front of the wagon. As long as you stay low and in front of that wagon, she cannot shoot you. Now, if the wagon's tilted down some, that's going to allow her to shoot better. So ideally, you want to stop the wagon when, she doesn't have a clear line of sight. She can't shoot down on you. Then just run up and pull her out of the wagon. It's that easy. You're going to have to hog tie her, throw her on your horse, and then run into Strawberry or Valentine, whichever your choice is. And once you get her hog tied and on your horse, hightail it out of there. There's going to be guys spawning on horses behind you. You don't really have to worry about them. If you stop and fight them, then they can pose a problem. But as long as you just hightail it out of there, head straight to town as fast as you can, you should be able to outrun them and not even have to use a tonic in order to stay alive. Now, I would recommend possibly tonicking up before you go and shoot the guys off the wagon because you might take some damage. But once you're running off, you're good to go. Now, this one, she is out in front of the barn with the wagon. And we can actually do this one without firing a single shot. I do recommend drinking the tonic first, maybe some minty big game, in order to protect your health because you are going to take some damage here. And the key is we want to kind of sneak into the back of the barn, sneak through the barn. At this point, they see me. I want to let her get into the wagon. That's very important. If I were to grab her and hog tie her before she gets in the wagon, then I have to deal with all of these NPCs. But if I let her get in the wagon first and then I pull her out, then what she's going to do is she's going to run into the woods. She'll usually run through the barn first. But just get out of the wagon and chase after her. Again, you don't want to hog tie her close to the ranch here. You let her get into the woods and get away from all this gunfire, and then you don't have to worry about all these guys. Like I was saying, you're not going to even have to fire a shot this mission. Once you get significantly far away from the ranch, you can bola her or hog tie her, whatever you got to do. Throw her on your horse, and again, just head for town. You don't have to worry about shooting the guys chasing you. Just outrun them, and they won't be a problem. Now, our third variation, she's in the house. And this one is going to involve pretty much killing everyone, which is not a bad thing because there's an award for kills as a coach passenger, which rolls over every 100 kills, which does count if you're in the wagon getting kills from that Gatling gun. There's also an award for 1,000 kills with a mounted weapon. Both of those roll over. You get 0.4 gold bars every time you roll them over. So this is a great mission in order to farm those awards. And on this one, I don't even need a tonic in order to come up here because the wagon is just like really, really good armor. And I'm using Strange Medicine along with Cold-Blooded, so I'm getting health on kill. And I'm using Fool Me Once, which helps protect me from, taking too much damage with numerous gunshots. You guys probably are familiar with all those ability cards. But those are the ones I'm using on these missions. And it seems to work, brilliantly. I don't use a single tonic here. And I managed to just clean the place up. I got to get inside here, hog tie her, bring her out. Now, when you bring her out, you do have an option of killing those guys on horseback now, which makes things a little easier since you do have access to the wagon. Sometimes just, if I'm getting kills, in order to farm a couple more, I bring it outside and I kill the guys on horseback. And they're going to spawn as soon as you get outside of the ranch with her hog-tied or whatever. You see them, boom, immediately I get them spawning. And there's going to be a wave of these guys at this location. I don't know, maybe like 15, 20 of them will spawn. You gun them all down. And then you get a little further up the road, and you'll get another wave of like 10, 15, or 20 of them. You gun all those down, and then once you're done with that second wave of them, you can run cinematic mode all the way back to town. You don't have to worry about any more attacking you after that second wave. And then we have one final thing to note about this third scenario is every once in a while, when you're gunning them all down at the ranch, she will make a break for it. She'll come out of the house and she'll run over and she'll get on her horse and she'll just, make a break for it. You have to watch for that. You can see here, I'm gunning them all down, and you see on the mini map there, she has left the house now, and she's running to go get her horse. Now, most of the time, she will run towards Valentine, which is very great. I mean, like, why even bother hog tying her if you're going to let her run to Valentine? She gets all the way to about Cumberland Falls before she cuts north. So as long as you get to Cumberland Falls before she cuts north, then you can just pick her up there and take her from there to Valentine. As you can see, I'm just letting her run ahead, like no big deal. I know, like right at this point here, she'll head north. So I really want to catch her before that point, and then I can just take her into Valentine. So, basically just cinematic mode. I'm being a little too lax here because I do actually let her get past that point before I hog tie her, but no big deal. If you're just letting her run on her own horse, you don't have to worry about any NPCs chasing you. So it makes it just kind of easy to bring her in by letting her bring herself in. Because once you hog tie her, the NPCs on horseback, they will spawn even down here and start chasing you, which again, you can just easily outrun them and head into town. You don't have to stop for them. And I suggest not stopping for them, because if you do stop for them, you're risking getting killed. If you get killed, you have to start from the beginning. So no point in risking it. Just head to town and get the job done. So I hope this helps you out. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're not new, share it with someone who is. I'll catch y'all next time. Until then, happy hunting and happy trails.